Jai Bhim, and good morning, afternoon, and good evening, everyone, depending on where you are in the world. Thank you for tuning in for yet another live session of Boston Study Group in its very popular Ambedkar Lecture Series, where we bring in distinguished guests and experts in their fields to speak on various issues, be it social, political, economical, educational, and so on. I'm your host, Amol Ragade, covering this live from Boston. And it is 10 a.m. here of July the 18th, 2020, and a great sunny morning to bring to you a wonderful session with our speaker today on a very burning and pressing topic titled Casteism in India in Present Context. And the speaker presenting this talk today is Dr. Pradeep Aglave from Nagpur, India. Let me give you all a brief introduction of our esteemed speaker. Dr. Pradeep Aglave is a well-known writer and thinker, an ex-professor and head for postgraduate department of Ambedkar Thought at RTM Nagpur University, and has also served as ex-professor Dr. Ambedkar Chair, RTM Nagpur University. He has been an academician all his life, with 34 years of teaching and research experience. He holds MA, MPhil, LLB, PhD, PGTD. He has been a very busy guide, guiding well over 75 research studies, of which 18 were awarded PhDs, 5 were awarded MPhil, and 71 were MA in Sociology, Pali, Prakrit, and Ambedkar Thought. To his feat of accomplishments, he has received postdoctoral research award in Sociology and gold medal and numerous awards in literature. He has over 700 articles published in leading newspapers, magazines, journals, and souvenir on Ambedkar thought, Buddhism, social and economic issue. He has published over 32 books and has delivered lectures internationally, namely in US, UK, and Pakistan, where he also was a keynote speaker. Some of his keynote speeches cover topics like International Conference on Reimagining Religion, Caste, and Social Justice in South Asia, which was delivered in second annual international conference on unfinished legacy of Dr. Ambedkar at Brandeis University. Another keynote delivered was an impact of Columbia University on Dr. Ambedkar's thought in an international seminar at Columbia University. And another keynote delivered at World Conference on Equality and Human Rights at the London School of Economics. So, before I hand over to our esteemed speaker, a quick rundown of housekeeping items. Talk is going to be for 45 minutes, followed by question and answer session. The speaker will receive 2 time flags at 30th minute and 40th minute of their talk to help them with their time. For the audience, please be brief with questions or comments. We will be able to cover questions only within the allotted time of half an hour, post which audiences can email their questions. Contact information of the speaker cannot be shared in this session. So ladies and gentlemen, without any further delay, let me bring to you Dr. Pradeep Aglave. Over to you, Dr. Pradeep Aglave.
Jai Bhim to everybody. First of all, I would like to give thanks to Boston Study Group who organized thought-provoking Ambedkar Lecture Series. I'm also very thankful to Engineer Sanjay Bhagat who gave me opportunity to deliver lecture in this Ambedkar lecture series. My topic is that Casteism in India in present context. While talking about the Casteism, first we have to clear definition of Casteism. Dr. Aryan Sharma defined the Casteism. According to him, Casteism is a blind group which loyalty toward the one's own caste, on subcaste, which does the poor care, which does not care for the interest of other caste and seek seek to realize of social, uh, social, religious, social, religious, and other interests, its own groups. But I think that this definition is incomplete. Why there is casteism? This question is very important because caste discrimination is the base of casteism. Caste discrimination is the word says is a discrimination of people on the basis of their caste. In brief, casteism is nothing but caste discrimination. Caste discrimination means casteism. So while talking about the casteism or caste discrimination, I would like to discuss about the caste system, because the question is that why there is caste discrimination in India. The answer is that there is caste system. Means why there is caste system? Caste system is here due to caste discrimination is in India due to only caste system, and that is why first we have to know what is the meaning of caste system. So first we want to know that why there is caste description already we discussed. The answer is that people observe caste discrimination due to caste system. Caste system will divide people into unequal and hierarchical social groups. Those at the bottom are considered lesser human beings, impure and polluting to other caste groups. The impact of casteism or caste discrimination on society is severe. Right from the individual to the whole nation, it affects the society as a whole. The impact of casteism is very important, but reality is that caste discrimination affects particularly untouchables or Dalit or scheduled caste. It involves massive violation of civil, political, economic, social, and cultural rights. Caste-based discrimination is one of the most serious human rights issues in the world today. It is a little understood and rarely acknowledged, and it affects more than 260 million people worldwide. Through a hierarchical system, the assignment of basic rights among various castes is highly unequal, with those at the top of enjoying most rights coupled with least duties, and those at the bottom performing most duties coupled with no rights. The system is maintained through the rigid enforcement of social ostracism. Scheduled caste, which is the constitutional name for Dalit or untouchables. Untouchables or scheduled caste is the majority of constitutional name. The untouchables are suffering from caste discrimination in India. We know that India is an origin of caste discrimination due to caste system. Whatever Hindu people live, there is caste discrimination. Most of the Hindu people live in India and other countries originated from Hindu religion. Hence, caste discrimination is prominently found in Hindu societies. One famous writer and Indian sociologist, Dr. S.V. Ketkar, said that if Hindus migrate to other parts of the earth, casteism would become the world problem. And now we know that it is in reality. If we have to understand of caste discrimination systematically, we must have a clear idea about caste, varna, and untouchability. Only then we can understand the depth and seriousness of the caste discrimination and how it is against the human rights. According to Hindu religion, there were 4 Varanas. These 4 Varanas were Brahmi, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudras. The Purusukta of the Rigveda throws a light on the origin of the Varna. According to Purusukta, 4 Varnas emerge from the 4 different organs of the Virat Purusha or divine force or the Lord himself. As per this belief, the Brahmins were born from the mouth of the Purusha, Kshatriya from his arms, and the Vaishya from his thigh, and the Shudra from his feet. The Code of Manu also mentioned this theory of the origin of the Varanas. The status of Brahmins was superior among all the Varanas. Shudra had the lowest status. Each Varna's occupation was fixed among all the Varanas. Shudras was lower. Now each Varna's occupation was fixed. Varna system was known as Chaturana, means 4 Varnas. We can understand how the origin of Varna system is false and against the scientific temperament and humanity. Nobody can believe on the origin of Varna system, but Hindu believes on its because Varna system was sanctioned by Hindu religion and it was sanctioned in Hindu Dharma Shastra. Now we want to know caste system. Brahminism converted Varna system into caste system. The Brahmin Varna transformed in Brahmin caste itself. There was not the division of Brahmins in so many castes. The Brahmins was one Varna and Brahmin was also one caste. But other Varnas were divided in many castes. The Brahmins were superior in Varna and also become superior in the caste system. It was a conspiracy of a Brahmin that they divided in Varna in so many castes, but they did not divide themselves in many castes. The caste system is hereditary. It means nobody has right to change their caste. One who born in particular caste, be couldn't change his caste in any conditions. Hence, Dr. Ambedkar had defined caste as an enclosed class. This definition is very famous of Dr. Ambedkar. Dr. Ambedkar explained that castes are not equal in status. Their order is based on inequality. One caste is highest or lower in relation to another caste from a hierarchy in which one caste is at top and is the highest, another at the bottom and it is lowest. And between there are caste every one which is at above some caste and below some caste. The caste system is a system of gradation in which every caste except the highest and the lowest has precedence over some other caste. Caste system is against the humanity. It violates the human rights of the lower caste people. It is hindrance to human society. Caste are not equal. There is graded inequality. Caste are social, but Hindu religion is the origin of caste system. We find social, religious, cultural, and economic discrimination on the basis of caste everywhere in India. The caste system plays the inhuman, undemocratic, and again the development role in Indian society. India is backward country due to caste system only. Dr. Ambedkar's statement is very important. He said that you cannot build up anything on the foundation of caste. You cannot build up a nation. You cannot build up a morality, anything that you will build up on the foundation of caste will be cracked and never be a whole. This statement of Dr. Ambedkar is very important. Anybody can ask the question that why Hindu people observe caste system? Dr. Ambedkar gave answer of this question. According to him, that there is a strong belief in the mind of Orthodox Hindu that the Hindu society are somehow molded into the framework of caste system, and it is an organization consciously created by the Shastras. Not only does this belief exist, but it is being justified on the ground that it cannot but be good, because it is ordained by the Shastras, and the Shastras cannot be wrong. There is caste system in Hindu religion. Hence, Indian society is divided in more than 300 caste and 25,000 subcaste. Now we want to know the nature of untouchability. Untouchability is a practice in which some lower caste are kept at a distance, denied of social equality and made to suffer some disability, for their touch is considered to be polluting the untouchable caste. The untouchable people have been never treated as human beings. Hindu religion deprived untouchables from human rights since the ages, they have been suffering from various disabilities throughout the Indian history. Hindu Dharma Shastras legalize the untouchability. Dr. Ambedkar explained why Hindu people follow the untouchability and why they didn't treat untouchable as human beings. He said, Hindus observe untouchability because his religion enjoins him to do so. If he is ruthless and lawless in putting down the untouchables, rising against his established order, it is because his religion not only tells him that established order is divine and therefore sacrosanct, but also imposes upon him a duty to see that this established order is maintained by all means possible. If he does not listen to the call humanity, it is because his religion does not enjoy him to regard the untouchable as human beings. If it does not feel any qualm of conscience in assaulting, looting, burning, and other acts of atrocities against the untouchables, it is because his religion tells him that nothing is seen, which is done is in defense of the social order. The Hindu religion forbade many disabilities like civic, religious, educational, social, political, and other on the untouchables. The untouchables have been lowest status in the social hierarchy of Hindu society. Dr. Ambedkar said, untouchability is not only worse than slavery, but is also positively cruel as compared to slavery. The untouchables are deprived and depressed since ages. Hence, untouchables were known as Dalit. Now, untouchables or Dalits is known as scheduled caste. To follow untouchability is the crime according to Indian Constitution. However, discrimination is still in existence in India. Dr. Ambedkar fought against the caste discrimination and untouchability. He was started movement of untouchables for human rights and social justice. He was an architect of Indian Constitution. Hence, there are some provisions for the uplifting of scheduled caste, but scheduled caste people still have to face discrimination and atrocities. Caste-based atrocities practices are the major problem in India. Caste discrimination is a highly politicalized and sensitive issues in India. Despite constitutional safeguards and special legislation for the protection of 201 million scheduled caste, violation of their fundamental human rights continue on the massive scale. The issues include access to justice and rising violence against Dalit, multiple discrimination against Dalit women, slavery and child labor, discrimination in education, untouchability, and access to basic services including humanitarian, aid, social and economic rights, and space for Dalit rights defenders. In 21st century, Indian society is facing the serious problem of caste discrimination. According to 211 census of India, scheduled caste population is 20 crore 13 lakh 78,000 and 372 and 372. The percentage of scheduled caste population in is 16.6 percentage in total Indian population. Scheduled caste people are living in very miserable condition due to only caste system and discrimination on the basis of caste. Caste discrimination in India, IDSN briefing note 2016 stated that the number of reports have been issued on the failure of the administration of justice to protect Dalits in India. Most recently, the 2015 Equity Watch report, Access to Justice for Dalit in India, the report released by the National Campaign on Dalit Human Rights find that violence and atrocities against the Dalit are rising in India, and there is urgent need to set up an effort to ensure justice for victims. According to National Crime Report Bureau of India, the number of cases registered under the Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribe Prevention of Atrocity Act were 40,401 and 38,617 in 2014 and 2015 respectively. It again rose 40,801 in 2016. Over the decade to 2016, crime rates against scheduled caste rose by 75% from 16.3%. However, cases pending police investigation of scheduled caste has risen by 99%, while the pendency in court has risen by 50%. The conviction rate for crime against SCs have fallen by 2 percentage points to 26 from 206 to 2016. In terms of legislation, following years of advocacy by Dalit group, a landmark amendment to India's key caste legislation, the Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes Prevention of Act was passed by the Indian Parliamentary in January 2016. On March 20, 2018, the Supreme Court expressing concern over the misuse of the Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes Act 1989 ruled there shall be no immediate arrest of a citizen or public servant without prior permission for crimes registered under the act. It also introduced the provision of anticipatory bail if the complainant was found to be malafide. This triggered widespread protest by Dalit and Adivasis organization across the countries on the Bharat Bandh protest, India shutdown protest held on April 2, 2018, turned violent in Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Gujarat, Orissa, Punjab, and Madhya Pradesh, resulting in the death of 11 persons during an urgent hearing of the center review petition on Tuesday, April 3, 2018. And SC refused to stay in
15 more minutes.
order, asserted that it is only meant to protest the rights of inconsent people without affecting those of the marginalized communities. As many as 4 lakhs 22,799 crimes against scheduled caste was reported between 2006 and 2016. The highest increases in crime were recorded in 8 states: Goa, Kerala, Delhi, Gujarat, Bihar, Maharashtra, Jharkhand, and Sikkim, where rate rose over 10 times. The National Crime Bureau includes in its report that dominant caste in India are using violence against Dalit to enforce the hierarchical caste-related power structure and separate Dalit rights, assertion, and claim. Two other key reports, Justice Under Trial and Claiming Justice from 2014, also finds serious obstacle to Dalit obtaining justice crimes against them. One example is the dismal conviction rate found in sub-study cited in the report of 2% in cases where rape victim or scheduled caste or Dalit in comparison to a national conviction rate for rape of 25%. Caste discrimination in India, IDSN briefing note 2016 stated that this is much needed as not only are atrocities and violence against scheduled caste rising, but the brutality of the crimes is also getting worse. For example, in October 2015, the burning to death of 2 small Dalit children asleep in their house in Faridabad grabbed international headlines. The children were reportedly victims of a dispute between Dalit and members of the dominant caste. This horrific incident is unfortunately by no means unique. The violence and atrocities directly related to Dalit's assertion of basic rights, including land rights, freedom of expression, access to justice, access to education, water, food, decent work, and other services, and equal participation in cultural and religious activities, to name a few. Even seemingly minor signs of resistance have resulted in brutal retaliation by the dominant caste, such as a Dalit boy. Dalit boy is reached being chopped off because he was wearing a watch. Another was killed as he had a song on Dr. B.R. Ambedkar as his ringtone. Human rights defenders working on these types of cases report that it is very difficult to get the police to cooperate with them, and that they often have to resort to protest to even get a charge sheet filed. Also in October 2015, a young Dalit boy died while in police custody. Police torture is blamed. His crime allegedly stealing to prison from dominant caste. A Dalit family, including 3 small children, were also stripped and put in jail, and allegedly encroaching on the land of dominant caste. there are again not lone incident of police negligence, but every day tale of the utter disregard of justice when it comes to Dalits in India. Very often Dalit women are seen to bear the brunt of violence, as they are used as a way to punish Dalit communities. At the same time, they are very vulnerable due to multiple discrimination on the basis of caste and gender. Dr. Ambedkar gave evidence before Simon Commission on 23rd October 1928. He said, I found that the upper caste persons insisted upon the deprived class people doing the unclean things, because giving up doing these things mean they that the deprived classes were exceeding their social status and rivaling the upper caste. For instance, in the Kulaba and Ratnagiri district, the whole of the Mahar population have given up eating of the meat and dead animals, but the tyranny and social oppression that is going on against them is simply unspeakable. There is complete economic and social boycott. The lands they had been cultivating for years past have been taken away from them by upper caste people. Every sort of pressure, social and economic, has been brought to bear upon the depressed classes in order to control them to resume their dirty habits. Dr. Ambedkar gave that evidence to Simon Commission 92 years ago. Even now, the same situation persists in the many parts of India. I had gone to Indian state of Gujarat for a study in April 2017. Human rights activists are aware about the Una incident on 11 July 2016. 4 men were skinning the carcasses of dead cow in Mota Samadhiyala village near Una in Gir Somnatha district, Gujarat. They were approached by a person in 2 cars who claimed to be members of cow protection group and accused them of killing cows. The Dalit tried to convince them that they were skinning dead cows. They were not convinced and tied Dalits to the car and beat with stick and iron pipes. They were brought to Una town and assaulted again in public, and were later handed to police station. The parents of one of them were also assaulted. After this Una incident, Dalit came together and they protested this incident very seriously. Around 5,000 Dalit from across the state gathered in Ahmedabad, Sabarmati area and appealed for unity in the fight against injustice and atrocities. They started 10 days protest march called Dalit Asmita March from Ahmedabad on 5th August 2016. The march also called Azadi Kuch March for Freedom, covered distance around 350 kilometers, means 220 miles, and ended on 15 August 2016 at Una, which was attended by some 20,000 Dalits, including women. Mr. Jignesh Memani, an activist, pleaded to the people to stop skinning cattle carcasses and cleaning manhole as a mark of protest against the flogging incident, and demanded that the government should provide them with alternative livelihood option. When the Dalit returned to their villages, they denied taking out dead animals and skinning cattle carcasses and cleaning manholes. The upper caste people pressurized them, saying that they can't give up their traditional occupation. It is the duty of the Dalit. Upper caste people are still forcing the Dalits to do all the dirty jobs. If the Dalit didn't do their traditional work, upper caste people used the weapon of the boycott and excommunication against the Dalit. Dalit from near about 20 villages lodged complaints in related police station, but there has been no response from the police. The police had and the government are not taking any action against the upper caste people. I found the condition of Dalit in Gujarat is very bad. They are very suppressed and oppressed people. It is proved that the effect of caste discrimination on economic life of the Dalit have been adverse, and they are in pitiful situation. The reality is that upper caste people couldn't tolerate the development of Dalit in any respect of the life. Recently, the Supreme Court declared their opinion in one case that the candidate of reserve category cannot apply for open post. It means Dalit are became become out of from the open post. This is injustice with scheduled caste and scheduled tribe and other backward classes. It means there will be ill effect on the economic development of the Dalit. Caste related violated has occurred and continued to occur in India various form. According to a report by Human Rights Watch, scheduled caste continue to face discrimination, exclusion, and act of communal violence. Laws and policies adopted by the Indian government provide a strong basis for protection, but are not being faithfully implemented by local authorities. Scheduled caste or Dalit are facing numerous atrocities against them. There is no aim for atrocities on them, but some incidents which are sinful to humanity are following: the Kilmini massacre 1968, Belchi massacre 1977, Karamchendu massacre 1985, Melawalo violence 1996, Ramabai Ambedkar Nagar firing 1996, Lakshmanpur Bate massacre 1997, Khairlanji 2006, Mirchapur Haryana killing 2010, Dhamapuri violence 2012, Rohit suicide in Central University of Hyderabad 2016, Bhima Koregaon incident violence 2018. These are important and which are very against the what we can say cruel incident which happened against the Dalits. When we talk the Rohit Vemula case, we know that it was not suicide. It was the institutional murder of Rohit. These are some example of the atrocities and violence against the Dalit or scheduled caste. The atrocities and violence against Dalit are routine in India. Such incident occurred in daily life. There are always news of violence or atrocities in newspaper. All the atrocities and violence does not publish in newspaper. Many incident of atrocities do not register in police station. If a victim goes to police station, police authority does not register FIR. They do not take notice. They show negligence regarding such incident. If victim or their relatives consciously force police authority to take cognizance, then they try to convince them that there is no use of the complaint. After all, you have to live in village. If you register the case, you will be in trouble. Think about your future, they say. Hence, many cases do not get registered in police station. If there is pressure of the victim, their relatives, media, and political leader, then those cases have been registered. But after some days, accused bring pressures on victim or give threaten to them. In this situation, case takes back against accused. Many parts of India see the untouchability being practiced. One such incident occurred in Sian village in Rewari district of Haryana, state India on 16th January 2019. One scheduled caste woman went to a temple, but she was denied entry into the temple. Upper caste people said that temple would become unholy if Dalit enter in the temple. People return money which was given by Dalit for religious program, and the food which was prepared by the money of Dalit was given to the cows. Hindu followed untouchability and discrimination against Dalits. They even assault Dalits for a very petty causes. I have to mention one such incident. A Dalit used to give roti or a bread to a dog which used to come in his home. When the owner of the dog to know about this incident, he told the Dalit man that the dog became untouchable and that he had to take him in his home and give him rupees 15,000. Dalit man being poor couldn't manage to give that money. Bitter quarrel ensued. The Dalit man did complaint in police. You see, this incident, he was giving bread to a dog on human ground. But now, even that animal has become an untouchable. This is the insult of humanity. Now, many people do not follow discrimination against Dalit directly. In urban area, the nature of untouchability had changed there. It doesn't mean discrimination against Dalit or scheduled caste has ended. Now we find untouchability in invisible form. For example, teacher does not say anything, but he will not pay attention to scheduled caste students. He gives less mark to these students. Now the government is favor of privatization of government institutions. This makes it difficult for scheduled caste people to get job. Privatization of education system is also hidden agenda of upper caste people to deprive the scheduled caste from education. There are so many types of in India. Just I said that this untouchability is in invisible form. It is reality. There is no direct untouchability, but still there is untouchability in another form, that is invisible form. So that is the individual form of untouchability is very dangerous. So it is the time to agitate against the caste discrimination. Many people ask what is the solution of caste discrimination. I remember Dr. Ambedkar's quotation. Dr. Ambedkar had prepared his lecture for Jatpat Todak Mandal in 1936. But he could not deliver that lecture, and that is why he published his lecture in a book form, and that book is also very famous. Annihilation of Caste is the name of that book. So Dr. Ambedkar gave solution how we can annihilate caste system, caste discrimination, and untouchability. He gave the message. He said, make every man and woman free from the thraldom of the Shastras. You must discard the authority of the Shastras and destroy the religion of Shastras. Dr. Ambedkar gave a solution to the untouchables, Dalit or scheduled caste, that we should not live in slavery. We have to come out from the slavery. And how we will come out from slavery? We have to renounce slavery, which is on the name of religion. We have to renounce Hinduism. That is what Dr. Ambedkar said, that we have to live Hindu religion, and we have to do conversion in Buddhism. Dr. Ambedkar became Buddhist, and he was not only became Buddhist, but he gave Diksha to 5 lakh people at a time on 14 April 1956. That was not only the program of Diksha, that was the revolution. Now we know that what was the effect of 96 conversion program. So I would like to tell the people that Indian society or Indian people will not change, because they are belonging to Hindus. and they are not about their religion, what their religion tells them, because they are under the slavery of religion. And that is why we have to do agitation, and we have to tell people that you are you are in slavery under the name of religion, that is Hinduism. So if we have to bring total revolution in Indian society, it means we have to start movement against the caste system, which was started by Dr. Ambedkar from 1919. So I'm very thankful to Boston study groups which organize thought-provoking Dr. Ambedkar Lecture Series, and which people are living in outside the India. Their duty is that how people will aware about the caste system, caste discrimination, and atrocities. So I'm very thankful to Boston Study Group and the engineer Sanjay Bhagat and their all the team. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for that wonderful talk. Indeed, the caste is such a monster, and it's a cancer to our society that it has engulfed everyone across the globe now. And I'm glad you brought that up, Ambedkar's prophecy about how it will become a global problem, as we are seeing it in the light of the latest Cisco lawsuit that happened in California, where one Dalit has sued the Cisco organization, citing caste discrimination at workplace. And thank you very much for sharing all those insights and those data. That was very helpful. Now we can move to the question and answer session. Yeah, before I begin to the question, I wanted to ask myself one question regarding the genesis of the caste. So you mentioned about the Purushottam Mandal that did define the various Varna system. We see we come to hear various theories now, various citations when people talk about caste, citing it as old as, like, some say 5,000-year-old, some say 3,000-year-old. What do you think? How old is the caste system? When did it come in?
We know that the origin of caste system is in Vedas, that is Purushottam. Okay, there were Varna system. Then we know that after the revolution of Buddha, when common people came forward and they accept Buddhism. So what happened? What happened? The Shudra became the what we can say kings, and they followed Buddhism. So I think that first there was a caste system, Varna system. After that, Brahmins converted caste Varna system in caste system. Why? Because you know that who is minority, who was minority in Varna system? Brahmins were in minority because Shudras were majority, and that is why they tried to transform Varna system in so many castes. Now we see that, and one very important thing is that Brahmin converted Varna system in casteism, in caste system. But one very peculiar thing is that Brahmins never converting in so many castes. There was only one Varna of Brahmins, and now also there is only one caste of Brahmins. And the period of this caste, original caste system, that we can say that 200 BC, 200 BC, when there was counter-revolution against the revolution of Buddhism. And Dr. Ambedkar also write on his one book, Revolution, Counter-Revolution. He said that Pushpamitra Singh's Singh means he came in, he started his rule. So that was the counter-revolution against Buddhism. So we can say the when caste system came in, it came in academia before the 200 BC. Hello.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for your response. Yes. So the Purush Sukta Mandal, the Purush Sukta, which I believe is the 10th, which is the 10th Mandal in Rigved.
Yes, I think
so,
the 10th.
Right. So the researchers and historians, like the Dalit researchers and historians, what they argue is that the language of that happens to be of the 3rd century AD. The refinedness of the language of the 10th Purushottam Mandal, which talks about the caste system, that the language appears to be of the 3rd century AD, against what the Brahmins profess as this to be like an ancient text. So our Dalit historians contradict that, and they refuse to accept that it's an ancient thing, but it was inserted into the Rig Veda in the 3rd century AD. Is that something that you also resonate with?
Amol sir, just you said that the language of Rig Veda is not ancient, but which language is that language which find in which was existent in before the 200 BC. So you are very correct, because many people said that Rig Veda are all the Rig Vedas written in Sanskrit. That is not correct. All the Rig Veda, Upanishad were in they were not in written. Means that time there was not art of writing. So means you know that where we find the many stored article of Ashoka, which written in 3rd century BC. So we can know that the idea of the writing comes in existence in 3rd century. So that is why we can say that Casteism means no doubt there were Varna system before third BC. But one thing is that when caste system became rigid, the historian already Dr. Ambedkar wrote books on this issue, and he explained that this caste became rigid after the counter revolution, which happened in 200 BC. Amol sir?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for your response. In audience, anyone wants to?
Hey, Amol, I see there is a question in the chat box from, I think, Mr. A.K. Anthony or someone.
Yes. Yeah, we have a question from Anthony
Dr. K.R.
Kolanur.
Anthony. Sorry.
Yeah, and the question is, why the educated Dalits who got government jobs and placed in influential positions do not come forward to mobilize support for victims of discrimination and atrocities? They do not want to risk their position or political connections for their own community fellows.
Sir, Anthony sir, yes. Dr. K.R. Anthony, this is the question of Dr. K.R. Anthony sir. Yes, it is the risk of every Dalit person, whether he is illiterate or literate. We have to fight against discrimination. It is our moral duty. I think it is our moral duty. But he asked that why the educated Dalit who got a government job and placed in influential position do not come forward. Every person, I think every person, he may be in job or in any position, he should come together. Or our existence is very important. If we fight against the caste discrimination, then there will be our existence and we can live with self-respect. Otherwise, we will not live self-respect. So, Dr. Anthony sir, you are very correct. It is duty of every person who think that caste discrimination is bad, who think that humanity is important. So it is the duty, or not only duty, it is the moral duty of every person who want to fight against the discrimination.
My point is why those who got the benefit of caste reservation and got government jobs, they don't have an attitude to help their own fellow men. That is where we need networking, and they should come to a group so that there is a group support primarily. When non-Dalits also come forward to help them when the promotion is denied, in workspace discrimination is shown, non-Dalits come forward to rescue of that, but a Dalit comrade, a fellow person, do not get together to support him. They don't come forward first. That is a pity.
Surely, sir, atrocities or discrimination is not only against the Dalit, it is against the humanity. And that is why it is the duty of every person. So everybody should come then should be against the caste discrimination, and they should give fight. It is the duty of every person. But you are very correct. Some people who are established, though they are belonging to scheduled caste or a type, but they are established. They think that I'm okay. I have no worry about myself. Then why I do worry about the other people? Why I should think about the other people? These things, this thinking is not good. Anthony, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Amol,
Yes. Yeah.
I can add to this
Sure.
Professor Anthony's question. So, as Pradeep sir has already said that it is definitely the duty of everyone to come forward and support, and especially when you got all the privileges and all the benefits of the caste system and all this. So it is not necessarily that everybody who has taken the advantage are shirking away from this particular responsibility. There are many people who definitely understand their responsibilities, and they are contributing in the way it is possible within their constraints, correct? So we have to understand uh, the different constraints these people has to go through. Um, Not only that's even if you got the jobs or whatever the privileges, you are still under the minority. And definitely, uh, when some you want to fight against, especially the caste system or the discriminations, there are major forces which will retaliate against. And just to give the example, recently I saw the news about one Muslim IS officer from Karnataka cadre, correct? I think he tweeted something and he immediately was sacked, or his responsibility was totally taken off. Same thing with just recently, I saw that one police lady constable, she detained some MLA's sons or something like that who was roaming around during the COVID days. And immediately she has to resign. So what I mean to say here that there are a lot of constraints everybody has to go through. We still don't have that support base or that strong support base to protect our people who raise their voices against the discrimination, especially who are in the job and all. There are 1,000 ways basically these people can subject it to the any harassment, even the disciplinary actions. You don't know. Means we don't know. So that is what I think constraint. So yes, they should do it whenever it is possible, and unless we form a very good coalition and form a support base where we understand each other correctly, I think we have to understand their situation also.
Yeah. I would like to add to that point as well, Bhagat Sahib. I think you made a very excellent point. I think the fight from the oppressed, the Dalits, has been historic. It has been in the if you go back to the history, it has been from time to time, and and the counter to that has been crushing these movements. If even Buddha's revolution, the Buddhist revolution, was a counter to the institutional or hegemony-oriented Brahmanism, and that battle is on since that period until recently. You see the battle of Bhima Koregaon. I think that's also a protest. That's also a fight put up by the oppressed communities against an acting regime who's strong. And if you the latest example is also the Dalit Panther movement. It was also mobilization of the Dalits against any atrocity happening in any part of the country, and we all know how was it dealt by the state. With the state is very strong, but nevertheless, I think the vigor and the passion of the Dalit community is has been uh, has been has been strong enough to weather that response from what the state is doing now. Uh, uh, the state slaps many charges on on the people who want to fight with the system. They want to fight with the caste system. And the Dalit Panther movement met the same fate, with many of its activists being slapped with so many charges. Even the Bhima Koregaon, if you see, the organizers of the Bhima Koregaon, they are also slapped with so many charges. So whenever there is an attempt to resist, or to put up a fight against this thing, there has always been a crushing pressure from the state. But nevertheless, I think the fight is still going on,
It has to
because
go.
yeah, and as Baba Sahib said, it's a fight. It's a fight. It's a fight for redemption of human personality. So so that's what I think the group gets its energy and motivation from.
Amol, if there is no questions, I would like to ask one question to Dr. Pradeep.
Sure.
Aglave,
Yes,
sir.
yes, surely, surely.
Actually,
Thank you, Dr. Pradeep, sir, for accepting our invitations. And I know that you are all the literature and everything is in the Marathi language, but considering this, the international audience of the Ambedkar Lecture Series, I ask you to speak in English and all this. And thanks for accepting, even if it is, it may not be your comfort zone, but accepting to speak in English. So thank you very much for that. I have a question. So,
Yes.
as you may be aware, this the Black Lives Matter movement
Yeah.
is going on in United States, correct? And the main strength of this movement is not only just the Black people or the people of color also, but the white people. They are
Yeah.
coming
Yes.
in majority to support this particular movement. Now, casteism in India is equally serious and the deplorable, correct? So, are the privileged community from India understand their responsibility, that they have some responsibility for annihilation of the caste system, and whether they are joining the forces who are fighting against discrimination, the same as white people are joining here in the for the Black Lives Matter.
Sanjay Bhagat sir, your question is very good. We know that white people came with black people. They involved in the movement of black people, because they know that this discrimination on the race is against the humanity. It means white people are with black people for the cause of humanity. But you see, when we talk about India, so all the Indians, whether he is Brahmin or OBC, scheduled caste, all are our color is same. But where is different? Our caste is different. Means every has his own caste. So what is happening in India? They don't come out of their caste rigidness. They think they are why, and same thing Dr. Ambedkar told in one speech. He said that it is very difficult to annihilation of caste. Why? Because caste is not social. It is not only social. It is though it is social, but it is based on religion. And that is why Indian people, though whether he belong to Brahmins or other caste, they must come with the these scheduled caste people or other people, but they didn't. They are not coming. Why they are not coming? They say that means it is the against the religion. Means though they know that these people, scheduled caste, tribes, and other people are deprived from the human rights, and it is need to fight for their human rights, but they never come. Never come. Why they will not come? Because in Dr. Ambedkar words, I will say, religion is not giving permission to them, because their religion is in their mind. Though they are Indian and they know the value of human rights, but they are not ready come out of their religion. That is the reason, Bhagat sir. That is why other people, upper caste people, are not coming with scheduled caste people or Dalit people. But now some people are coming, but very few, means 0.1% percentage.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Amol, I think we have the questions on Zoom.
Yes. Thank you for the response, Sir Aglave sir. That's an excellent response. So we have question, two questions and a comment from Kshitija. So the first question is, how can we get rid of casteism? And also, what are the ways to help others to get rid of this who are facing casteism? For example, I have seen people who are nominated for Young Scientist Awards in India, but because of lower caste, they do not even pay attention to the talent of such brilliant people who are presenting on stage. How should we empower ourselves to not face casteism in any walk of life? Yes, Aglave sir.
So, you see, we know that there is democracy in Indians, in present India, and there is the constitution. But one reality is that who are in power, these people, upper caste people, are in power, and their thinking is different. Though they give lecture on humanism and human rights, but they never think that these human rights should get these people, means different peoples, or who are lower caste people. They never think, because they do not think out of their, what you can say, means their mentality is based on their religion. And when we talk about the Hindu religion and beliefs, traditions, and other things, we know that all these things against the scientific temperament. And that is why, though there is one scientist who is belong to Hindu, but though he is scientist, but he is performing puja or all the rituals. Why? Because he believes that these rituals are correct. Just I want to tell you one thing. Yesterday there was one news on TV that UP government, Minister of UP government, tell the officer of the state that you perform the puja of flood Devi, flood god. You know, nowadays there are problem of floods in particularly in Bihar and Uttar Pradesh. So all these officers were performing puja for to stop the flood, and there should not be bad effect of flood. What is this? So means our mentality, our thinking has to change. Means common people, means the untouchables, or our thinking is we think that humanity is very important, or because we were depressed, and that's why we think, and we think rationally. But these people who are belong to the upper caste, they don't think rationally, and they don't think about the human rights, and that is why caste discrimination is continuing in present context also. Hello, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for your response, sir.
Hey, Amol.
Yes.
I would just like to add few words to the Kshitiz's question here, if it is okay.
Sure.
Or
Go ahead.
if you have any questions. So but I think Kshitiz's question is, and I'm sure whether it is her own experience that she is a young scientist and she has to go through all these one. And I know a lot of our people has to go through this. They have many more hurdles to cross and all. And but as you say that you cannot hide the sun, correct? So if you are talented, it will come out. It will come out and it will shine. So I always feel that you should keep on doing whatever you are doing. And her questions about how should we empower ourselves to not face casteism. And so, and this is one question I always feel that why Baba Sahib has done the Buddhism. You are subjected to the caste system because you accept you are part of the that particular system. You are in the Hindu, you are Hindu, so you are accepting that you accept all the caste system within the Hindu. That is their teaching. That is their basically basic philosophy. So, and for the same reason why Baba Sahib has did the conversion, I think we should also empower ourselves by coming out of that system. And that is the only way. Means once means as a Buddhist, I always feel that I'm no less than anybody else because I don't belong to any categorization or any systems at all. So that's the only thing I would like to add.
Thank you. Thank you for that comment, Bhagat Sahib. Another great comment coming from Anthony Kolanur. And the comment says that any reporting of atrocity or crime against Dalit should be web-based, meaning via internet, to the police IT cell, not to the local police station. Automatic crime number should be generated. Currently, it is a Herculean task to file an FIR. Victim and their family is at the mercy of station officer, and they're getting pressurized not to register FIR. I think that's a great comment.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Yes, it is correct, sir. There should be based the police IT. Yeah, I may agree with you, sir. Anthony, sir, I may agree with you, sir. Now it is necessary. Now it is, we are. It is we are living in 21st century, and we are using internet. So now there is a need of a police IT. Yeah, I agree with you.
What I wanted to say, there is a IT revolution taking place in the country, and states like Chandigarh, Union Territory of Chandigarh, as well as Goa, and now Chhattisgarh, Kerala are all advancing in IT governance, IT-enabled governance. And the application for driving license, everything, even court proceedings, there are web-based. You can track what is the status of any court case. But one biggest obstacle is police department. They do not want FIR to be replaced. That is, see, whatever the FIR need, you can pre-format all the information one police constable takes site, venue, identity, Aadhaar card number, everything, address.
Yeah.
And why can't it be? See, they want, it is like manual ballot paper. They don't want, or what you call, any room for corruption and replacement of pages and whatever written documentation can be done, or if it is only manual. If it is IT based, you cannot. I think there should be a crime record revolution in India towards IT enabled system so that it is transparent and corruption free. I mean, that will make a lot of difference in the crime recording and processing the crime. Now
Sure.
the only media is helping those who are victimized and pressurized. Media and politicians, we cannot. Today, there will be major part of politicians look at what do I get to by standing by a Dalit thing. So at times only the media which comes and exposes the reality. Thank you.
But
Yeah,
media is also great. Yeah.
One comment coming from Dara Saib Tandre in response to this. This is a wonderful suggestion. One IPS officer from Telangana, Sunil Kumar, practices this. So that's interesting. I have to. So I had a question regarding the Dalit identity. So there is the Dalit identity. There's a lot of thing that is being voiced by like Dalit being Dalit, and like Dalitism within our Dalit intellectuals as well. So some are in favor of it, some are in opposition of that. As the pioneer of Dalit Panther movement, Raja Dhale, he was the founder of Dalit Panther movement, but I think as we all know, over the years and later in his life, he became a proponent of actually going away from that Dalit thing to Buddhist. What you want to comment?
Sir, you are correct. You are very correct. You know that Gandhi gave a name to untouchable as a Harijan, and we people, we are against them, against the name of Harijan, and now there is ban on Harijan. Nobody can use word of Harijan. We know that there was a Dalit identity, and we know, and we were proud about the Dalit identity. But now the situation is changed. You know, there was also Dalit Panther, but now there is also ban. You see, now there is ban on Dalit's word. There was one case in court, and court also gave a decision that nobody will use the name of use the word Dalit. Now we are again Dalit. Now we said that we are not operate separate. We are human being. We are human being. We are not Dalit. And now there is ban on Dalit word also. And we said that our identity now, we are human being. We are Buddhist. We are human beings, and we are not Dalit. Who is Dalit? Hindu people who live in the what we can do in the fold of the religion. They are the Dalit, but who are out of their fold. So we are not Dalit, and we are now our Indian people, Indian Ambedkar people are against the Dalit word of Dalit. Already the Raja Dhale also against the word of Dalit.
Yes. And it is so. Yeah, go ahead.
Now many people, we are also against the Dalit. Now we say you know, there was when our people started writing, they produced literature. That literature name was Dalit literature. Now nobody said Dalit literature. Now it's an Ambedkar literature. So Ambedkarity is the new identity for the Dalit.
Well, and in response to that, I actually found on your CV, and I was delighted to see that you have been awarded in a Buddhist literature award, which is not a
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and not
yeah, yeah.
Dalit literature. So that was very
Yeah.
yeah, that I was delighted to see that. So some of our Dalit thinkers, they want to go with that Dalit thing, and they object, they
No,
they like
you
to
see,
objectize Dalit.
now, now we don't say Dalit literature. When means before 80, they use name of the Dalit Panther, Dalit literature. Now, new generation in again the word of Dalit. And we use another word, means we use the scheduled caste, but we don't know, we do not give, we don't admit identity of Dalit. Now we are the against identity of Dalit. It is the reality of Indian people or Indians, our people. Yes, sir.
That's good to know. There are some Dalit outfits in India and in US, and they for some reason they just want to go ahead with the word Dalit, and they're just in romance with that word. So
No,
so
no,
I thought of posing this question, and thanks for a comment. We received one comment for that from Vivek Chavan. When do our communities stop labeling ourselves lower class, since Dr. Ambedkar used oppressed community in constitution, using upper caste itself empower oppressor to cause more atrocities?
huh.
So that
Yes.
is one question, and that was a question and a comment
And
from Vivek
we are
Chavan.
not lower. Now we don't say that we are lower. We are we are a human being, and only we are oppressed. Who said lower, and who decide that you are lower? Who decide? They decide according on the ground of religion. We are every human being are equal, and it should be equal treatment to everybody. That is why we don't say that we are lower. We are human being, and we are, and but we can say that we are oppressed. We different, we are oppressed, but we are not lower. They said we are lower.
That's an excellent response to that. Okay. Is there any more questions? I'm just to see. I don't see any more questions. So in what would be your I think we just received one question. So from Vasundhara, it says the National Human Rights Commission has constituted a committee recently to assess the impact of the COVID epidemic on people's human rights. Through this platform, we hope to strongly amplify many concerns related to health, social determinants of health, violations on particular communities, including Dalits, Adivasis, migrants, workers, persons with disabilities, person from Muslim community, LGBTQI, prisoners, displaced, especially of women. So I think that's just a comment coming from, yeah. I would like to ask another question. What so the diaspora, the Dalit diaspora, or I would say the oppressed caste diaspora, and so there is a difference. So there is an argument that there is a difference in the oppressed castes in the diaspora and the oppressed castes in India, because oppressed castes in diaspora are more empowered, or they have a voice compared to their counterparts in India. In that sense, what as per you should be the should be a movement or an action on the diaspora to mobilize or to work against this caste system, or to work for reporting caste-based atrocities?
I think there should be movement with action. Amal sir,
Yes, yes.
there should be movement with action.
Okay, okay, sure. So this question was in the light of the latest litigation on Cisco. It's a company in California wherein a person from an oppressed community, he filed a lawsuit against the company, and the California state actually actually it is the California state who filed a case against the company. So I think this is an unprecedented event where a state is slapping slapping a litigation on a company for discrimination, but the discrimination.
Very good.
Yeah. So what per you can be the role of the oppressed communities in the diaspora to support this cause, or to highlight the caste discrimination?
Surely, we must highlight the caste discrimination, atrocities, and not only this thing, but also we should try to give ways. Means we can give new thoughts that people will get new ideas, and they will start action.
Okay, sure. Well, thank you for that. Okay, so I think we do not have any more questions. Anyone on the phone? Anyone on the Zoom session?
Any questions on the YouTube? Are we somebody checking there?
Yes, I think we have someone checking on that, but haven't reported any.
Okay.
Then I think if we do not have any more questions, then probably we can conclude. Okay, then I think we can conclude here. Well, thank you again, Dr. Pradeep Aglave, sir. It was a pleasure to have you and sharing with us your with your great insights and the data that you gathered and educated us on this very sensitive topic. And this topic becomes more and more pressing as we see what is happening around, and your data, your facts spoke in tune of that. So thank you once again for accepting this invitation, and it was a pleasure to have you. And thank you everyone in the audience for joining us. We will bring to you some more series with our eminent speakers. And I also hope Dr. Pradeep Aglave, sir, if we would love to have you again on various other topics. Your CV, I could not do justice with your CV within that small time. It is so huge, and it's very inspiring. So so we hope to see you soon again. And thank you, audiences, for their questions. We will meet in the next week with some more speakers. So thank you again, and have a wonderful day ahead. Jai Bhim.
Jai Bhim. Thank you, sir.